Okay. Hello everybody. I'm just gonna get our music going while we wait for people to show up. Alright, let's see. Make sure this is going. Good. Yeah. Give people another minute. And then we'll get it going. We're gonna go with some folk playlist. There we go. All right, so for those of you joining us live, I hope you saw in the story that we are going to be using props today. And what that means, I've shown you in other videos, but I'll show you again. Is I have a yoga blanket, which doesn't have to be a yoga blanket. This is just one of those Mexican blankets. The reason why people in yoga use these a lot though is they fold up really flat, which is really nice. So this is kind of like the starting point of yoga blanket folding right here, this position. And then from there we move things around. I have a strap. If you don't have a strap, then you can use a dog leash, you can use a belt, you can use a towel, a scarf. Back before I was a super yogi, I'm just kidding, I'm not a super yogi, but back before I had been doing yoga for over 10 years, which is the point that I'm at now, I didn't have all this, so I would just take any blanket that I had and I would take a dog leash or whatever. Yoga blocks. You can see my 10-year-old yoga block here has baby bite marks, cat bite marks, a little bit of marker from the toddler. So whatever you need to do, just do it. So 2 yoga blocks if you have them. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can use books, and I'll show you something that I used to do. I don't have them on hand because as soon as I'm done with school, my books are gone. Let me tell you, my nursing books would be great for this. But books that are thick, and then you stack them on top of each other, and they kind of become their own yoga blocks. Okay? And then something else that I have here is a bolster. I've said this in videos previous. What I used to do before I had a yoga bolster is I would take 2 pillows, like 2 bed pillows. I would wrap them in a towel and then like put a rubber band around it just so it stays. If you don't have a rubber band that fits around that, it's fine, but then you just have to keep the towel wrapped tight. Wrap the towel around the two pillows so that it's nice and firm. Okay, so that is all you need. And that is all meaning that was a lot, but that's okay. So what you'll start out doing is you'll take your yoga blanket and whatever blanket, it doesn't have to be yoga blanket, you'll take your folded blanket and sit on it. The point in a restorative yoga class is to really, really allow yourself to stop and to rest in the pose. The pose holds you in this, you don't hold the pose, if that makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, you'll get it once we're going through it. We're gonna start with our bums seated on a folded blanket to give us a little lift in our hips and just to take some pressure off our lower back and our hip muscles from trying to be as flexible as we wish they were, okay? So just sit in a comfortable seat. Another thing you could do, if you want, if it's comfortable to sit on your knees, you could take a blanket and put it right on your heels. That way you're giving yourself a little extra lift there too. I'll do that, it just feels good today. And just close your eyes, hands on your knees or your thighs, wherever you're sitting. Take a minute to just sit with your eyes closed and be present in this moment. All of your to-do lists, everything that is causing you any stress right now, this mat, this carpet that you're sitting on, this space that you're in is safe. You are safe right now in this space. You don't have anything to do but this yoga practice. This is time that you have purposefully set aside for yourself for that reason. So just breathe into that knowledge. Exhale stress out of your mouth right now. Inhale peace. Exhale your to-do lists. Let it go. Good. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 6. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 6. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8 if you can. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 8 if you can, or stick with 6. I'm going to have you do that 3 more times with your own breath and your own counting. One more, just do it, just breathe. Good job. So, some feedback that I got from the last restorative class that I did was that people who struggle with anxiety really felt a decrease in anxiety during this yoga practice. And for those of you that have that struggle, I feel compelled to mention, I've been there. I have recovered from it. It is possible to recover from anxiety, and things like this are absolutely instrumental. We live in a culture that thrives on busyness. Busyness is not a mark of effectiveness. It is a mark of other things beyond this class, but it is not a badge of honor. So you need to advocate for yourself in your healing journey with anxiety, depression, whatever you're going through. You need to advocate for yourself the best that you can and take time for your body and your mind to unwind. The more we push ourselves into chaos, that healing is going to take longer and it's going to be harder. You need to advocate for yourself. So I really encourage you, if this isn't the space to do it, then find a space to do it. I'll get off my soapbox. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a restorative yoga class. So if you've never done restorative classes before, this is going to be very different from a lot of the other types of yoga you've probably done. You're going to lay in a pose for a few minutes at a time. I'm going to have my timer, so that's why I'll have my phone or iPad next to me, just so I can see. But we'll sit in a pose for 2 to 3 minutes at a time, and your job is to breathe through that space. It actually can be more difficult than it sounds, so just be patient with yourself. If you notice any stressful emotions coming up, if you notice anxiety coming up, if you notice sadness coming up, your body is actually trying to let those things go. And if you sit through those emotions, acknowledge them, embrace that they are there, your journey of healing is going to go a lot faster. I promise you. So if you feel like, it's actually common, I'm not trying to scare people, but it's common in a restful practice for tears to come. And if you've got tears coming, man or woman, let those bad boys flow. It's very good for you, okay? So, that being said, I'm going to start out in a supine Baddha Konasana. What the heck does that mean? That means it's a butterfly pose on your back. So I've got all these blocks, I've got all this stuff here. What I can do, there's so many options. What I'm gonna do is open up my chest while I'm in this pose. So I'm gonna have a block right at my bra strap, guys. You can figure it out. Just under your scapula, right under your shoulder blades. And then I'm gonna have my other block. So I have medium height under my scaps. I have the tall height under my head. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can lay on a blanket rolled up, and you can just put it right at the base of your sacrum and just lay over that, okay? You don't have to have yoga blocks. Or if you don't have any props at all, you can lay on the floor, straight up, just lay on the floor. If you want to, you can wrap up your blanket and lay it under your thighs to give your hips a little bit of support if it stretches too deep for you. If you don't have all these props, you can bring your feet further away from your body. I'm gonna bring my clock right here. And we're gonna stay in this pose and we're gonna breathe in this pose. Okay, this is the first pose of the class. Just let it be good. Inhale for 4. Exhale for 6. Good, you'll notice that you'll want to wiggle. But I'm going to challenge you to find a comfortable place and be still there. And whatever comes, let it come. you have wiggling to do because you cannot rest if you don't do it, then just do it. There's no right or wrong. It's just a matter of finding somewhere to chill. If you need to sigh, if you need to yawn, if your eyes start watering, things like that, those are signs that your parasympathetic nervous system is active, and that's a good sign. Your body is releasing tension. Good, your body takes time to relax into poses like this, so just enjoy it. Just a little bit longer. Take a deep inhale. You can clasp your elbows overhead and put them on your forehead just to open up in your shoulders. You can bring them up over you. Stretch. Good. Bring your legs together and roll to your right side. Using your right arm as a pillow, fetal position. Take a couple of breaths here. If you need to sigh, do it. Good job. Press your hands into the floor beneath you. Good. So every time we transition between poses, you're gonna act like you're trying, you know, like if you're in the middle of the night, you wake up and you have to use the bathroom and you like try to keep your eyes closed so that you can stay asleep. Like that's how we're treating this practice. Don't mind my protein shake. The next pose we're gonna do is a spinal twist. So again, props, you don't need them to be yoga props, you know, just chill out with all the should be, could be, has to be, okay, if you just improvise. So get yourself to a place, I'm using a bolster and I'm gonna prop it up on a yoga block. Get yourself to a place where you have something relatively firm, a couple of pillows, and you can put a soup can under that to give it lift, you know, just improvise and quit telling yourself what you need to be and just be what you are. How about that? We'll go there. So we're gonna do a twist. I'm gonna bring my right hip to the side, to the base of my bolster. I'm gonna have my right knee bent at a 90-degree angle. I'll show you. So if my bolster was here, my right leg is bent at a 90-degree angle and my left leg is bent at a 90-degree angle under my right foot. Or stack your knees, okay? So, you know, do what's best. I'm doing that because it just gives me a little more stretch, but you can stack your knees too. I'm gonna face my bolster, so it's a light twist. Remember, it's restorative class. We're not going for gold medals in yoga. There is no yoga Olympics, as I would say. So quit trying to win them. Bring your right hip to the bolster. Bring your shoulders in line and just lay over it. And you can lay with your chin down. I like to lay with my right cheek facing, like I'm facing my knees. If you face away, it's just gonna bring the twist a little deeper into your cervical spine, and it's a little too deep for my comfort and my mobility. So I'm just gonna face my knee. Good, and just breathe here. Let it go. Do your wiggling, and once you find a place that's relatively okay, then just chill out there. And breathe, and focus on your breathing. Those exhales being longer than the inhale is very restful for your body, and it activates your parasympathetic, so you can do those. So inhale for 4, exhale for 6, and if you can, exhale for 8. Just breathe. 2 more breaths here. Good. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, press into your hands. Sit it up. Come to your hands and knees. And just to wiggle out your hips a little bit, you can come into just straight up cat-cow, or you can do my favorite variation, which is you inhale to the right and exhale down and over to the left, and just make circles with your spine. So like your shoulders and your hips are kind of going in opposite directions, and you're circling through your spine, and then you switch directions. And I hear lots of cracks and pops when I do this, and it's just glorious. Good. We're gonna switch sides. We're gonna bring our left hip up to the bolster or pillows or whatever you have. I took off my glasses. It is rest time now. And you're gonna have, it's kind of like a windmill shape with my legs, or you can just stack them if that's more comfortable. You'll still get a twist in your spine, and that's really what we're going for. And something else, whenever I tell you to just like chill out and quit being competitive, I'm really talking to myself, because I'm always trying to like be the best be the best yoga stretcher when there's really no such thing. So every reminder is a reminder to myself, and if you benefit, that's awesome. Remember just to lay down and let yourself be and be easy on yourself. This is such a good thing that you're doing for yourself right now. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6. Let the pose hold you. That's the best part about restorative yoga. Breathe. Take this opportunity to remember that whatever you're doing the best that you can. So like for me, I always struggle with like, am I being as good of a mom as I should be? Should. And then like when I stop and I do a restorative yoga practice or I take time to meditate or whatever, I try to sit and just remember I'm doing the best that I can at that moment with the resources that I have and the knowledge that I have at that moment. And that's all I can do. And then I pat myself on the back because not everybody stops to just relax, and that's really good. So just do that. Pat yourself on the back. You're doing the best you can. Two more breaths here. Good, inhale. Exhale a little side of your mouth if you can. Press in your hands. Keep yourself lazy. Keep yourself sleepy. Grab a strap, a dog leash, a belt, whatever you have. And you're just gonna lay on your back. I'm gonna take the strap or whatever tool I have and put it around the ball of my right foot. If you want to keep your left leg bent for the sake of flexibility and mobility issues, then do it, or you can bring it flat to the ground. And just breathe into your right hammy. If you can do this without a strap, that's fine. But in a restorative practice, it's a little less active and you just want to be able to chill. Like I'm just hanging on this strap and that's nice right now. Good. Clasp the strap. Wow. Clasp the strap in your right hand. And bring your right leg over to the right side to the extent that you can. Just let it hang there, opening up into your inner right thigh. It's kind of nice. I have a wall right there, so my leg's just resting on the wall. You can also rest your right leg on a yoga block or something in a stretching position. That's restorative as well. Good, bring your leg to center, switch hands and just cross it over to the left. It doesn't have to go far for you to feel that stretch in your IT band on the right side. Good. Breathe. Bring your right leg to center. Stretch there for another few breaths. I'm having technical difficulties, and that's reminding me why I was really annoyed when I started this class. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna set that iPad aside and breathe, because he can't have my peace. Good, bring your leg down, wiggle it out. You can bend your right leg to bring your left knee to your chest. Loop your belt or whatever you have around your left ball of the ball of your left foot. You can bring your right legs flat if you want to, and just breathe here. Just hang with your strap, stretching into the left hammies, back of the leg. Left hamstring stretches will ultimately be stretching into your lower back as well. Especially the deeper you start to get. If your left hamstrings are tight like mine, I don't feel much in my low back yet, but when I'm in a flexible place, I'll feel more and more into my low back as I bring my leg closer to my face. But today is not that day, because my left hammy is very tight today. So that's pretty much all I'm stretching into, and that's fine. Breathe. Clasp the belt in your left hand and bring your left leg out to the left. Remember, you can rest your left leg on a block, a bolster, an ottoman, like whatever you've got. across your body toward the right. You really don't need to bring it far, and you can just press into your left hip just to put it back in its socket. Sometimes the left hip tries to hike up toward your face. The hip doesn't need to do that. The foot can come up. Breathe. Bring it center. Hang out in the hammies for another minute. Take the time while you're here to notice where you're breathing. So we can be chest breathers when we're stressed out. We can be all belly breathers, but something that I want to see if you can challenge yourself to do is to breathe into your ribs. Expand your ribs. If you put your hand, my left hand is going around my left side of my left ribs, and I can just feel my breath expanding my ribs both up to the ceiling and down to the floor at the same time. Good. Bring your left thigh down, or your left leg down. Bring your feet to the floor. Your hands can reach down and just graze your heels. Hands can be wherever. Feet are just a little wider than hip distance apart. We're just going to do windshield wipers to let go of any tension in the hip flexors. So just drop both of your legs to the left on an exhale. Inhale up to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale center. Exhale left. Inhale center. Exhale right. Keep going. Nice and slow. I can hear my digestion speeding up. That means my parasympathetic nervous system is active. Rest and digest. That's a good thing. So if you hear your stomach making a lot of noise, that's good. Couple more. Bring it center. We're gonna close it out because we're running out of time. So just straighten your legs out in front of you. Wiggle your feet. If you need to feel more grounded because you're going through stress, bring something with weight on it over your hips. You could also, what I do is toss my blanket down over my feet to put weight over my feet. Putting weight in these two places is a signal to your body. It's just you're grounded, it's time, you're okay, you're safe, you can relax. It's kind of like what a weighted blanket might do. If you have a weighted blanket, even better. Shavasana, just breathe here. Let it go. You're safe. Releasing every muscle in your body. Just let it sink deep into the floor beneath you. Your cheeks, your forehead, your eyes, your tongue, your shoulders, arms, chest, belly. hips, thighs, calves, feet. How heavy can you be into the ground beneath you? Good. Take a deep inhale. Sigh it out of your mouth. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll out your wrists and your ankles. Do a good morning stretch. Arms up overhead. You go ahead and roll onto your right side. I'm going to roll to my left because that's where you are. And I'm going to use my bolster, as you can see what I'm doing here. Just for comfort. Press into your hands, keeping your eyes closed. Come to a comfortable seat. Hands on your thighs. Breathe here. Before you open your eyes, remind yourself why you did this today. And try to keep that intention through the day. Remind yourself to stop and take a 4-count inhale and a 6-count exhale. Anytime you notice that you're in fight or flight, it really, really does boil down to whether or not your nervous system is able to relax. So bring yourself to that place whenever you need to. It's always available to you. You can open your eyes. Thank you guys so much for coming. That was not a 30-minute long class. And that is a struggle for me. So I'll work on it, but I appreciate you guys so much. Feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to share this. I want people to be exposed to peace. It's something that I think is lacking in our culture, to be honest. So thank you guys for supporting Team V Fitness. On Tuesdays, we're doing animal flow and strength. So it's not HIIT anymore. There will be some like cardio component in there, but we're gonna do animal flow, body weight strength on Tuesdays at 5, and on Thursdays at 5, we'll do a short HIIT class because HIIT doesn't need to be long, and that's awesome. And then on Saturdays, we're doing yoga. I've been doing yin and restorative yoga because frankly, what's going on right now is stressful for a lot of people, and our culture and our society is very divided. And if we can just come together and lay and relax and learn to bring our nervous systems down, maybe we can stop posting hate posts and start posting things that make people happy and lift them up, because I think that's what we're lacking right now. So that's where I'm at. I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I hope I see you again soon. Bye guys, thank you.